All right, everyone, welcome back. We're going to jump right into another deep dive here.
Yep.
And this time we're looking at accountability
Yes.
and specifically the role of leaders in shaping accountability in
Absolutely.
organizations. We've got some fascinating excerpts from, let me see, Role of Leaders in Accountability, how leaders set accountability standards
Oh, the good one.
to guide us today.
It is a good one.
And one of the really interesting things that I've seen coming up over and over again is this idea that leaders don't just enforce accountability,
Yeah.
they model it.
Oh, for sure.
And
And embody it.
that's such a more powerful way to think about leadership.
Yeah, it's really that shift away from like the traditional top-down do as I say, not as I do kind of leadership, you know.
Right?
It's more about setting an example by actually living and breathing those accountability principles yourself. Think about a leader who readily admits when they mess up, not trying to sweep it under the rug or blame someone else. They take responsibility when things go wrong for the whole team.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
they always follow through on the promises they make.
Those are the ones that you remember.
Exactly.
Those are the ones that you really look up to.
Yeah, and that's what modeling accountability really looks like.
Yeah, because it makes such a difference when you see someone actually walking the walk,
Yeah,
right? It's not just empty words.
it's not just talk.
It's actions that really have weight.
They do.
I'm trying to remember. I had this one project, gosh, it must have been a couple years ago now, where things just went totally sideways.
Ah,
And our team lead at the time, they just stepped up and said, straight up, this is on me, folks. Didn't try to point fingers or make excuses, just total ownership right there.
Powerful stuff.
And it was amazing how that changed the entire team dynamic.
Oh, I bet.
We knew they were accountable, and it made us want to rise to the occasion too.
That's the ripple effect, right? When a leader consistently models that accountability,
Mhm.
it just builds this foundation of trust, and it makes it much more likely that the rest of the team will follow suit.
Absolutely.
But there's more to it than just setting that good example, of course.
Right.
Leaders also have to think about the environment, the culture they're creating.
The ecosystem.
Exactly, yeah. Accountability needs the right conditions to thrive, and that starts with crystal clear expectations.
So we're talking about getting rid of those vague goals, those, what do they call them?
Oh, you mean the stretch goals?
Yeah, the stretch goals.
Yeah, and those ambiguous responsibilities that nobody really owns.
Right, right.
Yeah, if we want people to be accountable, they have to know exactly what's expected of them. Think about it.
Hmm.
You give someone directions that are like super unclear or change all the time.
Mm-hmm.
How can you blame them if they get lost?
Right.
It's the same in the workplace.
It's the same everywhere, right?
Yeah, it's a universal principle. So leaders have got to define those performance standards.
Right.
They've got to outline those roles and responsibilities and make sure everyone's on the same page from the get-go.
From day one.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got leaders walking the walk, and they're giving us the map.
Mm-hmm.
What else is in that accountability toolkit that we need?
Well, it's one thing to hand someone the map, right? But they're going to need more than that to actually get where they need to go.
Oh, absolutely. Like what?
And a compass.
Yeah, a compass, some supplies, maybe even a guide,
Right.
someone to help them along the way.
Because sometimes the terrain is rough. For
Oh,
them.
absolutely. And that's where that extra support comes in.
Yeah.
Could be mentorship programs, access to training, creating a culture where people feel comfortable asking for help.
Yeah, and not feeling like they're going to be judged or, penalized for not knowing something.
Exactly. You want to encourage people to speak up when they need support.
And that really leads into the whole communication piece, doesn't it?
100%. Open communication is absolutely essential for accountability to thrive. Because even with the best map, the best compass, sometimes you just need to talk to somebody.
Talk to somebody who's been there before, right? Get that insider knowledge.
Yeah.
It's about leaders fostering that kind of environment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where people feel safe voicing concerns, asking those questions, and admitting when they need a hand.
Yeah. And it's not about creating a blame-free zone where there are no consequences, right?
Right.
It's about creating that trust and transparency.
Exactly. So that issues can be addressed before they blow up into something much bigger.
Yeah. It's that safe space to say, hey, I'm struggling with this.
Or, hey, I need a second opinion on this.
Yeah, without that fear of judgment.
Exactly. And on the flip side, when someone does demonstrate that accountability, owning a mistake, going above and beyond, or just consistently delivering,
Yeah.
leaders need to recognize and reward that.
That's huge, isn't it? Because it reinforces those behaviors.
It does.
What are some of the really impactful ways to do that?
Oh, there's so much.
I've seen everything from like shout outs in meetings,
Oh, yeah, public acknowledgement.
acknowledgement to, small bonuses.
Mhm.
Even a simple handwritten thank you note can go such a long way.
Oh, yeah, handwritten note. It's
Yeah.
that personal touch, It really shows you care.
Yeah. It's about making people feel seen and appreciated for their effort.
Absolutely. Recognition doesn't have to be some big, extravagant thing, but it has to be genuine.
Right.
It has to be specific to what that person did.
So, kind of wrapping it up here,
Yeah,
we've learned that leaders are really the architects of accountability in a lot of ways.
they are.
They model it, they make those expectations crystal clear, they provide that support,
Yeah, scaffolding, yeah.
they encourage open communication, and then they reward people who are showing up.
And if we zoom out a little bit, it's about understanding that accountability isn't this like top-down thing,
It's
right?
not a rule.
It's not a rule, it's not a mandate. It's a culture that really thrives when leaders set the stage and empower everyone to own their part.
So that brings us to our final thought for you all listening out there. How can you, wherever you are in your organization,
Whatever your role is.
contribute to building that stronger culture of accountability? Even if you're not, the CEO or the manager,
Right, even if you're just starting out.
everyone has a part to play.
Absolutely.
Are you leading by example? Are you communicating clearly? Are you supporting the people around you?
Because all those small actions, when everybody's doing them, across a whole team or a whole organization, it creates this ripple effect. And that leads to a much more accountable and successful environment for everyone.
That's something to think about, isn't it?
It is.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Keep exploring this. Keep those accountability conversations going.
Keep learning.
And we'll see you next time.
See ya.